end of the present universe. As stated earlier, this universe shall not last forever. God Almighty has decreed a specific term for it at the time of its creation. The pleasure and enjoyment of the dwellers of the paradises and punishment for those suffering in hells will continue till the end of this universe. The universe shall continue to shrink until it is completely annihilated. The present heavens and the earth, or the temporary world, would come to an end, and the permanent heavens and the earths, that is the permanent world, will appear. As stated earlier, God Almighty created this temporary universe through the energy of His word Kun. The universe has been expanding continuously like a balloon within a very small space in the permanent world. Right at the time of its creation, God Almighty decreed a specific term for it. This universe will therefore be annihilated at the completion of its term. The persons, that is spiritual beings, still in hells shall also be annihilated with this universe, as that they did not qualify to be part of the permanent world. Please note that these people include the following two categories of people. 1. Those who committed shirk or associated partners with God. This matter has been exhaustively discussed in the previous chapter, part 4 of the third phase of Judgment Day. 2. Those people who were assigned the responsibility of conveying the message of God but utterly failed in this responsibility. These people have also been discussed in detail in the previous chapter, part 4 of the third phase of Judgment Day. Now let's continue with the chapter. The remaining persons or spiritual beings shall be reverted to the permanent world from where they were sent for the test and gradation. The Holy Quran calls this stage changing of earth and heavens. It will mark the end of the Judgment Day. Now we will go through the relevant verses of the Holy Quran which support the above stated narrative. The first verses are from chapter 14 of Quran, verses 48 to 50. First, Arabic. يَوْمَ تُبَدَّلُ الْأَرْضُ غَيْرَ الْأَرْضِ وَالسَّمَاوَاتُ وَبَرَزُوا لِلَّهِ الْوَاحِدِ الْقَهَّارِ وَتَرَى الْمُجْرِمِينَ يَوْمَئِذٍ مُقَرَّنِينَ فِي الْأَصْفَادِ سَرَابِيلُهُم مِّن قَطِرَانٍ وَتَغْشَى وُجُوهَهُمُ النَّارُ. Translation. On the day when the earth will be changed to another earth, and so will be the heavens, and they all shall appear before God, the One, the All-Dominant. On that day you will see the culprits tied up together in chains. Their shirts will be of rosin, and their faces will be covered with fire. To understand these verses, please use space and time graph YouTube recording, which is before the creation of the present universe part 1. When you look at the graph, you will notice that Sa, the hour, is at point B. This point shows that the life cycle will come to an end at this time. Point C is identified as Qiyamah. This is the time when the whole humanity will be raised with new physical bodies. We do not know how much time will lapse between these 2 points, I mean between B and C. This is only known to God, but we will feel as if we just slept a while ago. The next point is point D. This marks the beginning of Nuzul phase after accountability. The people will be shifted at the end of accountability to paradise or hell by the angels. Paradises and hells will exist in nuzul phase, that is, between points D and E. It may be noted, please, that the Samad Dunya, the nearest heaven, where we are living now, will finish after the accountability phase, and the remaining 6 heavens and earths will consist of 4 paradises and 2 hells. Point E shows that nuzul phase will come to an end at point E. This is the point where the present heavens and earth will be annihilated. Please note that the last part of the verse is also informing us about the condition of culprits at the time of annihilation of this universe. Next verses. These verses are from chapter 11 of Quran, verses 106 to 108. First Arabic. فَأَمَّا الَّذِينَ شَكُوا فَفِي النَّارِ لَهُمْ فِيهَا زَفِيرٌ وَشَهِيقٌ خَالِدِينَ فِيهَا مَا دَامَتِ السَّمَاوَاتُ وَالْأَرْضُ إِلَّا مَا شَاءَ رَبُّكَ إِنَّ رَبَّكَ فَعَّالٌ لِمَا يُرِيدُ وَأَمَّا الَّذِينَ سُعِدُوا فَفِي الْجَنَّةِ خَالِدِينَ فِيهَا مَا دَامَتِ السَّمَاوَاتُ وَالْأَرْضُ إِلَّا مَا شَاءَ رَبُّكَ عَطَاءً خَيْرَ مَجْزُوزٍ. Translation. Those who are wretched shall be in the fire. There will be for them therein nothing but the heaving of sighs and sobs. They will dwell therein for all the time that the heavens and the earth endure, except as your Lord wills. For your Lord is the sure accomplisher of what he plans. And those who are blessed shall be in the garden. They will dwell therein for all the time that the heavens and the earth endure, except as your Lord wills. It will be an award never to be seized. These verses inform us about the following. 1. Please note that we will be living in paradise or hell in our physical form, as we are living in this world. The paradise and hell have a specific duration, that is, ajalin musamma, as specifically mentioned in Quran, chapter 30, verse 8, and chapter 46, verse 3, and therefore will be annihilated at the end of the specific period. Point 2. As regards hell, these verses are indicating that God may even get the people of hell out of hell if he wishes, through messengers and pious people. There will be those people who have been purified in hell. Chapter 2, verse 174 tells us about those people whom Allah will not purify. This shows that there will also be a category of people in hell who would be purified. Lastly, these verses are informing us that people in paradise will go to even a better place when this universe is annihilated. Next verse. This verse is from chapter 30 of Quran, verse 8. First Arabic. أَوَلَمْ يَتَفَكَّرُوا فِي أَنفُسِهِمْ مَا خَلَقَ اللَّهُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضَ وَمَا بَيْنَهُمَا إِلَّا بِالْحَقِّ وَأَجَلٍ مُّسَمًّى وَإِنَّا كَثِيرًا مِّنَ النَّاسِ بِلِقَاءِ رَبِّهِمْ لَكَافِرُونَ. Translation. God has created not the heavens and the earth and all that is between them, except with true purpose and for a specified term. And indeed, many of mankind deny the meeting with their Lord. This verse is informing us about two things. 1. God has created the heavens and the earth and what is between them for a true purpose. 2. Our universe has been created for a specific time period. This is mentioned in Quran as Ajalin Musamma. Maulana Maududi, a renowned scholar from Pakistan, has explained these two concepts very well. He writes, it says that if man makes a deep observation of the system of the universe, he will see two things very outstanding about it. First, that the universe has been created with the truth. It is not a plaything of a child which he might have made to amuse himself, and whose making and unmaking might be meaningless, but it is a serious system whose every particle testifies that it has been created with great wisdom. Its each component has a law underlying it, and everything in it has a purpose behind it. Man's whole social and economic life and all his sciences and arts are a witness that whatever man has done in the world became possible only because he was able to discover the laws working behind everything and the purpose for which it was made. Had he been placed as a puppet in a lawless and purposeless toy house, no science and no civilization and social life could be conceived. Now, how does it stand to reason that the wise being who has created this world with such wisdom and design, and who has placed in it a creation like man, who is endowed with great mental and physical capabilities, powers and authority, freedom of action and choice, moral sense, and entrusted with unlimited means and resources of the world, would have created him without a purpose and design. That man would live a full life involving both goodness and evil, justice and injustice, virtue and vice, and end up in the dust, and his good and evil acts will not bear any fruit. That each act of man will influence his own life as well as the lives of thousands of other men like himself and countless other things in the world for good or for evil, and the whole record of his life activity will be just set aside after his death without accountability. The other thing that becomes apparent after a deep observation of the system of the universe is that nothing here is immortal. Everything has an age appointed for it, after attaining which it dies and expires, and the same is the case with the universe as a whole. All the forces that are working here are limited. They can work only till an appointed term, and they have inevitably to run out in time, and this system has to end. In the ancient days, the philosophers and scientists who said that the word was eternal and everlasting could have their way, due mainly to lack of knowledge. But modern science almost definitely has cast its vote in favor of the God worshippers in the debate that had been going on since centuries between them and the atheists regarding the eternal and the temporal nature of the word. Now the atheists are left with no leg to stand on. They cannot claim on the basis of reason and knowledge that the word has existed since eternity and will exist forever, and there is going to be no resurrection. The ancient materialistic creed rested on the belief that matter was indestructible, only its form could be changed, but after every change, matter remained matter, and no increase or decrease occurred in its quantity. Therefore, it was inferred that this material world had neither a beginning nor an end. But now the discovery of the atomic energy has demolished the entire materialistic edifice. Now it has come to light that energy changes into matter and matter changes back into energy, with the result that nothing persists, neither form nor appearance. The second law of thermodynamics has proved that this material world has neither existed since eternity nor will last till eternity. It certainly began in time and has to end in time. Therefore, it is no longer possible to deny the hereafter even according to science. And obviously, when science has surrendered, how will philosophy stand to deny the hereafter?